Talk and Tarot. This is Practical Principles. I'm Practical Prince. So, sorry for the late start. Just so you know, usually there's a hard stop at 8 so I can get to work. I'm working remotely today, so we've still got a full hour starting now. But I do have a hard stop then. We've got one question already in from Lavina, so I'll go ahead and pop that up. But for everybody else, go ahead and comment, chat, drop your questions in however you want, and we'll just do as many readings as we can with the time we've got. So for Lavina, a couple things about this particular guy. Will we marry this particular person? If so, when? And is he financially stable? Yep, looks like Destiny Deck got this one today. Let's go ahead and bring up our workspace. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know if we need a follow-up spread. Let me figure out what is for what. Is that time? Okay. So yeah. Oh no, you can see this. This feels like answer to the yes/no of the will we marry. Um, this seems to hint at the timing, which I would imply that's a yes, but we'll see. This one doesn't seem to be speaking to financial stability. I don't think we're getting that one here. This seems like a message just to you. So, going from there, Goddess Joy, Judgment, and then Nine of Cups. Okay. Yeah, so we definitely didn't get financial stability. I don't think it's worth it to try doing a follow-up read on that, given this card. Let me double check Goddess Joya. That one's unique to this deck. And I might be mixing her up with the other bonus card. Oh, it's not going to find it right. Let's look back. There. Okay, so yeah, this is the Master Manifester, Master Builder. Basically, you have the power to make it happen. It's very positive, very uplifting. So this would speak to yes. As far as judgment, it's not really giving us a sense of time. I know that was one thing you specifically asked for, if we could get a timeline. That's dealing with choices and moving forward. It really has no concept of the when that choice happens. It prefers sooner to later, but it doesn't really. I'm not really getting a sense that it's indicating that. It's just focused on the decision will happen when it happens. So really nothing on the timeline. The Nine of Cups is, I don't know if you can read it from here, but that is the wish card. Happiness is the other note on it. Let me just go ahead and make that the focus again. So given that this is a message straight to you, it sounds like don't worry, be happy. Don't know if you're familiar with that song, but that's the summary. Nothing to worry about. It may take time, but everything's fine. So it's all getting better, and it's just a matter of time. So yeah. So yeah, given that we got something for timing, I don't think it makes sense to follow up for a more specific timeline. And we didn't get anything on financial stability, but I mean, given this card, it's sort of like no worries, the Hakuna Matata. So I don't think we really need to fret about the details. So yeah, we'll call that good. I'll clean this up. If you've got questions, would like a reading, go ahead and comment. We can also just chat. It is talking, Tara. So you can do that while I do this. And yeah, we're still going to go for an hour since I don't have to commute. That, okay. There we go. Alright, let's slide that back in. Okay, hope your weekends are going well. Let me just check to make sure we've got connections going everywhere. Okay. Seems to be good for now. I'll But I do need to follow up on some later. Nothing major right now. And we're caught up. Had to switch cameras today. Forgot to charge the old one. And this one's a bit heavier, so it's swinging on its pivot a bit more than I'd care for, but they're both kind of heavy. But anyways, I'll just have to remember that more. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Chris. So if you've got a question, go ahead and ask. We're just doing readings for a while. And otherwise, we can just chat. Tarot or not. I feel like I'd usually be shuffling decks, but I'm good about shuffling them after they're used, so I don't feel the need to mess with them. Okay. Let's find out. Looks like we're doing Last First. That's just one of the decks that I use. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's find our cards. I'll double check that afterwards. You phrased it like a yes-no, so we're probably getting a yes-no answer. The spread I'm familiar with uses 3 cards. And sometimes we just leave it at that, but sometimes the cards are also informative. So let's just double check. Okay, so yeah, good. These three are combination for the answer. This one's just filling it out. These have extra information. Uh, this is what I call a tempered pair. So the top one is primary, and then the second one, the one underneath, modifies it, tweaks it in some way. So, two of skies, that would normally be two of swords, two of oceans, and the lovers. And then down here, tempering that, we've got four of earth. Okay. Let me double check. I think the two of skies is going to put a damper on this. It's not a no. But, let me check if anything else was a flag. I don't think. Yeah. Okay. So two of swords, the two of skies in this case, says the answer is not no. There's either too much ambiguity, too much flux going on. But it's just unclear at this time. These are the relevant ones with the extra information, so we'll go over those. Two of skies deals with decisions, exclusive decisions. So it's either this or this, not both. It represents this with the chasm between them. Just go ahead and ask your question. And I just track them in the chat. So yeah, I mean this is almost certainly speaking to Elijah having to make a choice of some sort, and it's really a one-way track. Yeah. Over here we have the lovers, tempered by four of earth. Let me double check the interpretation for this particular deck. I want to say it's a little more morbid, but that's the sort of nuance that sometimes matters. So, lovers. Love, relationships, choices. Okay. Yeah. Some go into a little more detail, but yeah, that's keeping to the basics, which really echoes the two of skies. And just having to make a decision going one way or the other. This card represents that with the life on top and the death underneath, as well as the juxtapositioned people. Now this is tempered by four of earth, which represents a, you could say greed, lack of mentality might be the better way to put it. A scarcity mindset, and it's what they like to use. So, yeah, that really just represents a fear, timidity with making a decision and pressing forward. So, yeah. So as far as Elijah is concerned, really uncertain. We just don't know. He hasn't really settled. You're definitely one of the options, but he's having a real hard time working it out and really committing to something. So that might give you your own answer on whether or not this is something you want to wait for or pursue. But that's what we got for him. Let me know if you've got questions on that. And Chulun, go ahead and ask your question if you like. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if the indecision from him has already written him off in a sense, but I don't see that being resolved very soon. So something you may be struggling with. Okay. Well, I mean, it would be great if he resolved one way or another. But yes, go ahead and ask your question. Sure. Okay. Good. It's always tough for me when people are clinging to a possibility. A bit too tightly. But yeah, sounds like you've got a good mind about this. So yeah, Chulun. I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry, but go ahead and ask your question. Go ahead and do that. Hello. Trying to get someone's true feelings. Okay, let's find it out. Yeah, okay. We're using Prisma for this one. Okay. I think that might be everything. Let's check. So, this. unequal. So yeah, the true feelings, the deeper feelings represented by these cards. This is reversed and then skewed. So not quite the reversed meaning, but it'll be close. It'll be adjacent to that. This one, it's not directly an answer to your question. Let me see. Oh, I use Restream. That's a particular software. You can see that in the upper right, their logo. Um, it just facilitates streaming to multiple platforms at once. So you saw GIFs earlier. She's from YouTube, based off of the icon, whereas you're on Twitch. So it just facilitates that. So yeah, and then this is just a message to you. It's probably related to the topic, um, but it's not directly speaking to that. It's speaking more to you. So we've got Seven of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, reversed and skewed, and then Page of Chalices. Okay, let's go over these. And as far as they relate to their feelings, I mean, Seven of Wands indicates a certain persistence. I don't know how clearly you can see the image, but this person's running a bit of an obstacle course, jumping from stick to stick in the water. They're not deterred when they fail. They climb back up and press forward. And so the main theme here is pushing on, in a sense. I'll have to read up Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, just because I first, let alone skews on them. So I'll be reading the reversed meaning, but then it's going to be a bit off from that. So, sloth, material malaise, forgotten beginnings. The Knight of Pentacles is no less despondent in his inversion. If anything, he is a clearer warning against the malaise of the material world. You have grazed too long in this stagnant field, feeling tied to the earth, as it has been nourished by your blood, sweat, and tears. Why did you till this ground in the first place? Surely it was to nourish your body and bring peace to your life. Take stock. If you are no better off, the doldrums even worse than before. It's time to shed some unwanted weight and move on. So, a stagnation to the feelings. But then as far, because then it's offset from that. Yeah. Basically, they've sort of lost the reason for the why. There's these feelings, but there's not a real solid point to them. And without that, it's very undirected. So, stagnant is a good word for it. I feel like that's a bit more final, whereas this one, if they rediscovered why, or found there a new reason, that could spark things up. But as things stand, it leads towards the stagnant and just losing it, losing the feel for it, the passion, the liveliness. That's probably enough on that. Page of Chalices, again, direct to you, not an answer to your question per se. Deals with opening the heart, being willing to, well, be yourself, but also to share your emotions and your feelings, to be vulnerable with others. So, yeah. Any questions on that? No problem. Just wanted to make sure that the meaning came across. Okay. Okay. And of course, if you have more questions, go ahead and ask, or we can just chat. My monologue is not the best, but if I have no options, then that is the option. The only option. And who knows? Maybe I did start late, so maybe that threw people off. And we'll end early, who knows? But yeah, doing well. Yeah, pretty good. Work progresses, it progresses slowly. Uh, I'll probably need to buy new clothes. They're getting too worn. I just hate shopping, even though my wife loves it. She loves to resolve problems in that way. But, yeah, for some people. So I live in Utah, in the United States. Um, from what I hear, cases are rampant. Um, I know my specific county ordered a mandate for basically masking in public spaces. So, yeah, I mean, to me, it feels like, I don't know, it's getting old for me personally. Um, and that's probably partly because I have a pretty strong immune system, so I was never really terrified in the first place. But, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, there's definitely been a spike in cases that followed after the holidays. I mean, based off of how people describe it, it would seem like holidays hit and everybody spread it to each other somehow. Now every other person's coming down with it. But, yeah, I haven't heard too much concern about like the flattening the curve and being considerate of the hospitals and whatnot. So I don't know if cases just aren't as severe. I know there's definitely people going to hospitals, but and in sizable numbers, but it's not overwhelming from what I can tell. I'm sure it's probably a strain on them because I do hear they're using beds that are normal for other staff, but um, yeah, it's not quite a flood. So yeah, hopefully that gives enough context and insight into what the state of things are is. Mm-hmm. Hey, Adelaide, how's it going? feel like we're all waiting for each other to talk. But yeah, a little bit of a late start today, but we'll still do an hour. Then I gotta do work. But yeah, we were just talking about COVID and the situation where I am. But if you have a question, feel free to ask. Happy to do readings. Oh, I should probably switch the caption. There we go. I would be a Taurus. Um, although I'll have to check. I see Aquarius. Those are the water ones. I don't remember when they are. Yeah, Taurus would be mine. Yeah. I feel like at this point, for this particular strain, you could probably sense the ties. Okay. Yeah, I don't know which would be. Well, I'm sure Taurus would be my son. I don't remember um, where it falls to figure out what the moon would be. But yeah. You've got time. I guess I can check. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Guess I'll go ahead and find out. Although I might keep this to myself. Don't want people to reverse calculate um, private information. So yeah. So yeah, I set up a number of platforms. Um, but yeah, so we stream to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Those are the main ones, and I think those. I feel like those are the only ones set up to chat back. Um, It would be practical prints. But then I've also got like 6 others that are foreign or just not as big. So, so yeah. Yeah. And yeah, a few of those more foreign connections, I want to say they've been having issues lately. Either it's not, it needs to be refreshed, or it's sending but not showing. So I should look into those at some point, but I don't know. It's hard to appreciate a foreign audience when you can't understand them. Every now and then I'll get basically gibberish emails, some of which I've recognized as the "Hey, someone's followed you." I have no clue why they're following me. But yeah, there's a couple of them. Okay. Well, I think we've given people enough opportunity to hop on and ask questions, so I think we'll go ahead and sign off. Have a great day, a great weekend, and until next time, take care.